All right, hello and welcome everybody back to another episode of the Bird's Eye View. Going to get into some of the news very shortly, but just want to introduce my co-hosts for the day. We do have Rainbow Six Siege coach Jake JM Beast. We do have the player of, or technically the coach of VR, right?
Player coach, yeah.
Player coach of our
both.
Echo Arena
All-star.
VR team. We do
All-star
have
player.
Yaz, also known as ZR Glitch. And then joining us for the first time here on the Bird's Eye View desk, we do have Chris Atmosphere Funston, who is the president of our Esports Club here on campus.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you on. And one thing that we do want to get out of the way right off the bat. So unfortunately, the college had made the announcement. I think it was on Facebook they initially made it, but we were getting excited for No Man's Land, but unfortunately the college is shutting down all sorts of events, big or small, due to the coronavirus concerns. And unfortunately that does mean that No Man's Land, that was supposed to happen this weekend, is going to be canceled. And this also does include the Smash Class weeklies. So inadvertently we had our last Smash Class for probably a little bit of a while here.
It's unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate. Everything
is.
until basically April
Yeah.
has been canceled.
Yeah.
Any large gatherings at the school through the SRC specifically. So if it's Saints Gaming is a part of the SRC, we fall under them. So
Right.
anything that we have that's a bigger event will be canceled. It kind of affects a lot of people because we've had a lot of things coming up, but
Yeah.
you got to do what you got to do. It's the best for everybody, right? Like Chris was saying this morning, it's just sketchy to have all these events happening and this many people. There's a lot of reckless people that just don't think that they're going to get sick, but
Yeah, and it's ultimately what's best for everyone, right?
exactly,
yeah.
yeah.
And it's good and bad that it's out of our control. I mean, it sucks, but like, what can you do? You can't change anything, so we just have to kind of go about it and just kind of do what we can.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think even your open gaming sessions that you would hold outside the nest kind of got hit with that too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's all the same, right? It's like the school brings in people from all over the place. Like, I live in Burlington and 2 cases just popped up there, so you have to be safe. Like, I travel back and forth all the time. Who knows where people go here? So just doing our due diligence and everything. Even though there's no cases here, you want to make sure it stays that way, and we just have to kind of do our part.
Prevention always better than reaction.
Wash your hands.
Yeah, wash
If
your
I see you in the
hands.
washroom and you don't wash your hands, we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah, big problem.
I'm not gonna touch you, but
There
we're
it
gonna have
is.
a problem.
The hand sanitizer.
Yes, perfect.
The hand sanitizer on deck at all times, okay? Please.
Use it.
I don't need it. We don't want it. If you give it to me,
Don't look any.
I'm coming for your head.
handrails.
It's that
Yes,
simple.
please.
No hand licking.
Yeah,
yes.
no hand licking. See what you
Ricking?
just did to me? You see what you just did to me?
You broke
yeah,
Yaz.
you broke Yaz, exactly. You
Easy.
broke Glitch.
Now, before we do get into, or actually I should mention real quick in regards to the varsity games here at the college, there's probably going to be a lot more players playing from home.
Yes.
However, matches are still going to be happening. I'm still going to be doing my best to come into the nest and get the matches streamed. The crew's still on deck. Some of them are going away, I think, for March break, but we'll
Yeah.
still get as much streamed as possible. And St. Clair's policy of the lack of rescheduling because of the outbreak is actually going to be lifted for the time being. So
Yeah.
if you're from another team trying to play ours, this is one of the few times where you can actually ask for a reschedule and we won't instantly deny it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty fair. A lot of huge schools are closing their doors. I was reading, what was it, UCLA closed their doors.
A lot of teams have
Stanford,
been.
Harvard, like
UTSA.
the big schools are closing their doors. It's very
Yeah,
bad, very bad.
any team that like strictly competed on site could have gotten like smoked by this. So
Yeah, there's a lot of issues.
There is.
CVRE only has like 5 teams now left in the Echo Arena tournament,
Because of it.
and TTU just got closed down. But I
Oh.
believe TTU has home headsets, which is fine.
Okay, good.
But UCLA got closed
I
down.
was gonna say Clemson.
Clemson
they had all
also.
of theirs. Yeah.
Yeah, Berkeley. There's
Just unfortunate.
there's a lot, like all of them are getting closed down. A lot of them only use the headsets at the school. There's only like 2 or 3 teams that don't. So I mean, if that happens, we might as well just shut the season down.
Yeah, you might just go the same route that NBA and NHL
Yeah.
are going, just suspend
Suspend it for the
like,
time being,
Yeah.
or we might just skip it, to be honest, because it's not like
you have to
skip
weigh
the round
odds,
robin.
like,
You know
what's
what I
worth
mean?
it.
There's not much you can do about it at that point. It's it's a crappy situation, but yeah, reschedules. A lot of reschedules will be happening. I'm calling that right now.
Absolutely.
Way
So
too many, but it's what we got to do.
Everybody at home, please be safe, stay healthy, and take the proper precautions. But I guess a small victory is knowing that there is still going to be at least some sort of entertainment here at the Saints Gaming Channel.
Yeah.
A couple times a week.
You've still got
depending on
us
how many
once a
matches.
week, for sure.
And on the club channel,
except during
once a
March
week.
break.
Yeah, and the club channel.
And then
once a
are you
week.
doing one during March break?
Yeah, we're going to. We're not sure when. It probably won't be the same time. We normally do Wednesdays at 3, but we're going to have to kind of, obviously, like everyone else, is kind of look ahead and see what works and what doesn't. But, yeah, we're going to keep going for as long as we can.
Okay.
Yeah, so you've seen probably on our channel some of the Call of Duty matches, but if you have not done so already, I think it's SC Esports Club on Twitch and Twitter.
Yep.
Yeah, so be sure to follow that channel if you've not done
Nice
so
banner
already.
behind us.
Yeah. Right
Oh,
there.
yeah.
It's at the bottom of the banner, so obviously you can't
We
see
kind of
it.
got cut off, yeah. But
Yes, go lift it up.
I guess since we did mention the club, so I do want to give the opportunity to you, Chris, to one, like, how did you get into esports in general, and how did you get yourself into this position of an esports club president?
Esports, that's a huge, long story that'll probably take up far longer than an hour. But I actually knew Sean like well before this program. I lived in Windsor for about like a few months during some like transitional period, and I was looking for some work in journalism. I ended up like just doing some quick Google searches, ended up finding his original company that he started with, which was EGE. I started doing just some writing just to kind of keep sharp because that was the field I was in at the time. I did always want to get into esports writing or sports writing in general because like I fell back on that after wanting to be an athlete and knowing when to call it quits. It was never going to work for me. The second best thing I could do is kind of, write about things that I really enjoyed doing. So that's how I met Sean. I did a little bit of work for EGE before I ended up moving out west, blah, 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 quit journalism, moved back here. Things kind of fell into place where I was able to join the program here. Through him, he kind of connected with me and told me all about it, kind of brought me up to speed. So that's how I kind of ended up doing a big circle, found myself back here. Joined the program. First year, we didn't have the esports club.
Yeah.
It was still
Right.
kind of, no one really wanted to take charge of it. I don't think any of us really knew what we could do with it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of confusion. There was a lot of people that talked about doing it and then ended up all dropping out. So it's probably good for the best that those people didn't start it, or else who knows what would have happened.
They just be up in the air right now.
Yeah, who knows? But then it just kind of fell into my lap. This is something that I've always kind of wanted to do. I've had some management experience before, and it just kind of, there was only a few small group of us that were even able to do it in the first place. So I just kind of took charge of it and have been doing the best that I can so far. Yeah.
I'd say it's been pretty awesome between giving the platform for getting what is the Call of Duty
Call of Duty team.
Call of Duty, yes. The Call of Duty team. Oh my God, I'm stroking out here. But giving that team the platform to
Which I heard
actually
it's okay.
like, get together and compete. You've had the open gaming, like essentially uniting gamers on campus for a couple hours. I think it's every Monday.
Yeah,
or it was
so
every Monday.
Every
until
Monday
the
here, and then
cancel.
we've been starting to do it downtown as well, which has been a busy and good experience. They don't really have a whole lot going on down there,
Yeah.
so they've been loving that. The Call of Duty team has been an excellent experience. I mean, if everyone knows the captain Dawson on that team, he could probably run Saints Gaming if he put his mind to it. Like, he's the type of person that if he wants to get something done, he's going to do it. So he's been a pleasure to work with.
It's great picking that guy's brain. He knows
yeah,
so much stuff.
Just an awesome experience with Call of Duty. We've started them as a club team, and now they've basically grown into junior varsity. Competing in TESPA as a kind of a varsity team. There's still a little bit of club control in the CCL and things like that, but I don't think there's any doubt that they'll be varsity eventually.
Yeah.
They're definitely on the road. They're showing the effort, put in the work, and it's definitely a blast to see.
They practice, I think, more than most varsity teams. They're always practicing. I see them.
They really enjoy the game.
Yeah.
I don't know if that can be said for a lot of players that play in other games. A lot of the times you see players that play games and they just don't like to play it outside of when they have to.
Yeah.
But these guys just like legitimately really enjoy Call of Duty. I know I burn out on it very quickly, so
Same.
I kind of envy that they're actually still able to enjoy it even while playing it so often. But yeah, they're practicing. They have, I think it's almost like 4 games a week now. While their 2 seasons kind of overlap, 4 games a week. So.
2 TESPA, 2 CCL games, right? Yeah,
That's
so.
crazy.
That's wild.
And then they're even on the CCLs, like mainstream. I think
They've been on
last
it
week.
twice, yeah. So they've been doing well.
Hell yeah.
Very proud of them.
Killing it.
Now, one of the other things I've been seeing a lot from your Twitter posts from the club is Relay for Life. Do you want to let us know as to how that got started?
Yeah, so I had a little bit of connections with Relay for Life before, and it turns out that SRC was going to end up running their first ever Relay for Life here at the college, so I just thought it would be a perfect way to tie in kind of 2 things together that I kind of enjoyed. So once it just kind of started with us doing some open gaming at their event, which is going to be tentatively March 27th. We still don't know if that event is going to be canceled, so I don't want to speculate too much on that yet. But we are also fundraising up leading up until that point. And so as part of that, we also do like our weekly charity streams for Relay for Life, where we've been gathering donations. We've been doing raffles, a whole bunch of other stuff. So far we've raised about $400.
Perfect.
I think you can check out St. Clair College's Relay for Life. It's relayforlife.ca/St. Clair College. Our Esports Club is somewhere on that page that you could find. But yeah, so that's been a great experience. Really fulfilling too. It's different and difficult, but we're all doing it for a good cause. I think the college is close to like raising $20,000 across everyone. So yeah, it's been great.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, you guys actually made quite a dent in that too, didn't you? The 20 guys
almost.
Well,
I think
$500 almost.
We'll definitely get over 500.
Oh yeah,
which I think is awesome for us. I mean, it's our first year. It's our first real fundraiser doing something like this. So I think it's been a great experience for
everyone. And to
everyone.
do it all through streams too, to prove to the SRC, you know, just be like, look, we can make money by doing this too.
And the SRC's been great too. Like, I mean, they retweet all our stuff. All our social media stuff. They're obviously the Relay for Life and Twitch and gaming is like different kind of target audiences. So it's different for everyone, right? Like they don't know what we're talking about when we talk about streaming on Twitch and things like that. So it's kind of introducing them to this whole thing. It's like, yeah, we can actually raise money by playing video games. And they're like, oh, how does that work? And then it's like, well, and that's a whole other half an hour.
Speaking of another hour gone, yes.
Yeah. You can talk about that for a long time.
Was there any other notes in regards to the Esports Club?
Well, like we said earlier, like a lot of things are kind of on hiatus right now. Unfortunately, we did have a raffle planned that was kind of fundraising for Relay for Life that we're going to draw winners at No Man's Land. We're going to have to rethink that. I have everyone's names, everyone's money is still accounted for, so we'll figure something out with that hopefully soon. We are actually in the process of looking for new executives to take over since all the current ones will be graduating. There are applications on our Discord. We have a few in already. Hopefully that they will be able to kind of take what we've kind of laid the groundwork for and kind of keep growing what we've been doing. You see this kind of nice tablecloth we got here from TESPA. This No Man's Land was supposed to be our first ever TESPA event. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen, but that's something that you're going to see huge benefits from over time as we keep growing our events and getting more people. We'll get more and more prizes from TESPA. Like for No Man's Land, I think we had about $200 from them. Over time, if you get 100-person events, they're going to send $1,500 worth of stuff, which could almost overtake the prize money that we get for some of these events. So I think the future is going to be super bright for the club and for Saints Gaming and the academic program all working together. Tons of opportunities there. So I'm really hoping to see a lot of people kind of get interested in taking it over, maybe improving what I maybe failed at, or just kind of, growing it. Keep going.
Does that make you nervous at all trying to
it's
reins?
just like what's happened to these events, it's ultimately out of my control. So it's like once I'm gone, it's like
I could tell he's nervous. You know why?
Baby.
You know why?
Why?
Because he's been contacting me, and he's like, you should sign up for executive so that I can, still have somebody in there that I can watch and influence.
Cat's out of the bag on that one. Sent me the meme. You must be truly desperate to come for me.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too. I'm like, you're coming for me? I'm
just getting all my ducks in a row. I like to be proactive and make sure.
It's a really good idea. Get somebody that you could still be involved with, right? Somebody
they're always gonna be able to pick my brain. I'll always be available. If people know me, if they contact me on Discord, I'll probably get back to them within 5 minutes if I can. I'm not gonna wait if they need it. But yeah, it's gonna be out of my control. They need to get that experience that I got, right? With just I talk to Sean once a week as kind of mentoring. I talk to everyone else, but ultimately it's you have to make those decisions, and that's where you get the experience from. I'm not gonna just tell you what to do, and then it's what is it really worth at the end of the day? So
you never got the process if you're just being guided through it.
Because if you all remember, when we started, we didn't know what we were doing. We were trying to just do anything and everything, and we figure out what worked and what didn't. I think that's still important to do every year for new people. So it's I think it's Sean always tells us it's good to fail while we're here, and while it's there's no pressure. Yeah. You'll always feel pressure to fail, because that's just because people are hard on themselves. But ultimately, it really doesn't matter. No one else other than you will care that you failed. So this experience I think is invaluable in the long term, especially if you're looking for a career in esports.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of valuable experience for sure. You get a lot out of it. Also, just if you wanted to go over the community nights, because that's going to be still happening, right?
I don't think so.
Not
Like
even
the online ones.
online.
Oh no! Like
community game nights.
yeah, we were trying those for. That was like another experiment that I was trying
Yeah.
to do. Ultimately, it didn't really work out.
I mean, CS worked that one night.
Yeah, it worked one
Then you
night
gotta
out
hack
of like 6.
Yeah, I think it's more as if we just needed more people to actually show up. Because as soon as people saw like more than 3 people in the chat, they were just like all hopping in and hopping out. Like
Yeah.
it was just back.
It's
and
just
forth.
like it's the same with the Saints Discord. It's like no one is in these channels, so
Yeah.
it's like it's not normalized. People aren't used to seeing
Yeah.
people in chat. It's like so when they do, it's like whoa, that's weird. Must
Yeah.
be something weird's going on if people are in Discord talking in a public Discord chat. So it's kind of just like we have to try to like normalize it, and like people don't play games with other strangers very
Yeah.
often, which is weird to me because I came from World of Warcraft.
and everybody was a stranger.
And I would
Oh,
jump
yeah.
into a channel with 30 people that I didn't know anything about, and then you just start shooting the shit, and then you
Yeah.
play with them all the time. So it's like that's what I grew up on. So I didn't think it was weird.
Yeah, see, I think the same thing when playing RuneScape as a kid. You'd be cutting trees for hours on hours, and you just start chatting with everybody that's
Yeah.
around you. You know what I mean? So it's normal for me, but I get it for some people, right? Like even back when I was a kid, if you were playing like Halo or something on
Modern
360.
Warfare 2, the trash
Modern War-
talking.
exactly. People would just like start trash talking to each other. Be
Yeah.
like, let me invite you to my party. Be like, I have no idea who you are, but that was some of the best trash talk I've heard in my life. So
Yeah,
let's
and
go.
then they're on your friends list, and then you group with them later, like who knows how long. But
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Oh,
So-
did you see that one video or that one post? It was like this kid messaged somebody on Xbox. He's
Yeah.
like, I used to. No, it's a sad one.
Yeah,
that
it
was
is.
sad.
Yeah, he's like, I used to play Halo with you 10 years ago, and he's like, oh, this is his little brother. I was like, oh,
yeah.
that's so sad.
Yeah.
That hit home. I was like, damn, I wonder how many people I have on my friends list like that.
But that is something that I would hope,
Honestly.
like I really wanted to work on. It's probably not going to work out now, but it's kind of like in meshing together varsity and the club, people to play together.
Yeah.
That was kind of the idea
Mhm.
behind those community nights. It didn't work out as I wanted to.
not the right varsity players.
Well, yes and no. It's like
you got me and Yuri playing
yeah,
CS:GO.
and that was really fun. Like we were
Toxic.
playing with Spencer.
Yeah, it was
who,
a lot of
who
fun.
helped with. He was running a club level CS:GO team.
Yeah.
And a few
Yeah.
other of his friends. It's like it's fun, but it's like when you have to schedule it on a time in a day, it makes it less fun.
Yeah.
So
It's
it's like
almost
you
like
want it to be
practice or
organic. You
something.
want people to jump into Discord and be like, hey, who wants to play? And then
Yeah.
you go and do it instead of
Yeah.
going to your private Discords. And then it's like it's not really
Yeah.
you build
We
community
can,
building
we
in
can
that
get
sense.
it. Just the amount of tries that we need to keep doing.
So it's like maybe that's something we'll do for our weekly stream is trying to make it a more inclusive game that you don't have. Maybe it's a free to play
Yeah.
game that
Yeah.
we can all jump
Probably
in. But
wouldn't be a bad idea.
there's not many of those games anymore. Like
Nothing to
yeah,
it.
nothing
it's-
good. I mean,
if there are, they're very
CS.
player limited. CS is a good one because you can still do like a 16 versus 16. I
Yeah,
think,
you
if
can.
you want. It's
like
like,
the
but
skill
custom
gap
lobbies.
between some
Right.
players is just absurd. Like
you just
we-
want it to be fun, right? You want everyone to kind of
Yeah.
feel
Night
included.
fights.
exactly.
But it's like you can't do like you don't want to have to
Yeah.
do a game that's $30 and
Rainbow
you can only
Six,
do like
like-
if it's 6v6, you're limiting yourself. There's a whole
5v5,
bunch of different
but
You want
games,
basic
it's so
games,
hard.
yeah, games that you don't have like a learning curve on or anything. Like a game I could just hop on. Like that's how it was with CS when I first opened it and just hopped into a deathmatch. It was just
Just walk around.
pick a gun and shoot.
people.
Like it's
Yeah.
that simple, right? You play Overwatch, there's tactics and stuff that you have to follow. Like you gotta actually
the
listen to
bat,
your
yeah.
teammates. Like
Like maybe it's Minecraft. Like maybe you just want a
Minecraft would
server
be
you can
insane.
jump into because like
we
League
get an
on
esports
paper
server?
works because there's so many people that love League
Yeah.
of Legends, but then you're locked in a 20-30 minute game. People can't join, and
Yeah.
if they
Yeah.
you want a game that you can openly
I feel like Minecraft would work.
join and leave type of thing. So maybe like we go that route. I don't know.
Minecraft.
So, yeah,
is
actually-
fire.
I think that's actually a really good idea. Something
we
like
need a server.
Minecraft where you can stay as long as you want, or if you can only just stop in for a few minutes and
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah, then it doesn't
is what
affect
it
the
is,
game,
like,
right?
Make
Like,
little neighborhoods, you know, year
Yeah.
ones, year twos, esports members.
and then we
that's really
tape
cool.
it all off, and you can't enter.
Have wars.
Farming
simulator. How about Stardew Valley? We'll all start a farm, teams of 4, and you've gotta see how much money you can make within the first 4 seasons.
We tried Farming Simulator on the
That
stream.
was hectic.
Unfortunately,
That was
it was fun for the hour, and then I guess the game crashed. We had
Yeah,
some
I
issues.
saw
We had
that.
to go to Mechanic Simulator. Farming Simulator on paper.
Mechanic
looked like-
Simulator? That's what you guys went to after?
Yeah. Farming, like that's what Andrew likes to play.
Of course.
He has all the
I
simulator
see Andrew
games.
playing the weirdest stuff sometimes.
it-
Like he'll be offline for like a week and a half, 2 weeks on Discord. Now I don't know where he's on, just consistently for a week straight, just games after games after games. I'm like, I didn't even know you played Siege. I didn't
Yeah.
know you played CS. I didn't know you played any of these. Like,
He games for a week, off for a week. Game for a week off.
kills me.
Yeah, it's great.
But yeah, no, I watched that stream where you guys got cut off. It was like the audio disappeared for a second, and then you
Yeah,
guys
Andrew's
had to switch
audio
it.
went off. We
Yeah,
could still
yeah.
hear the other players. Andrew restarted, and then Farming Simulator kept crashing and crashing
Wow.
for some reason. He couldn't get it to
Yeah.
And obviously that always happens when you're streaming, right?
Yep,
And then
why
it's
not?
like you don't really have the time to kind of fix it. Like,
Yeah, I was watching Harry. It was on Harry, I'm pretty sure, at the time of, and he didn't know because he couldn't see like the screen to see if he
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
and he was just like talking to himself. He's like, I don't even know if I'm talking to anybody, but I'm gonna keep talking. Like
Keep going.
that killed me.
Now we ready to hop into some of the past matches, some of the
Yes.
results?
Yeah.
Should
That's
we?
funny.
Should we just get Smash right out of the way? Because unfortunately, we didn't know it then, but this is probably the last Smash class that we're going to have for a while. And how appropriate that it was going to be, or the winner was someone who probably is going to be playing Smash for a little bit now, since he's on the Midnight's grind. But Met,
Oof.
who was also known as What Do I Do,
Yeah.
came from loser side of the bracket and was able to take the grand finals over
Damn.
Ventus
What
Will,
a comeback.
Oh.
making that Mega Man
choked.
work. And it was a bit of a rough one. Of course, like St. Clair, for the most part, all wanted to see Ventus Will do well. She did do fantastic still, don't get me wrong. It was a good match, but it always hurts a little when you're sitting in winner side of grand finals and then you drop 2 sets in a row. So
Wasn't it HP versus Met last time? Last week?
HP versus Met last time, and I
Last
believe
week for finals?
HP got
Yeah,
it last
HP
week.
won last time. That's crazy to see the difference.
Yeah.
In the ranking now. Matt all the way up at the top, and HP's in 7th now.
Yeah, and then
Bad
another
night.
big surprise is Storm, who is from Thunder Bay.
Okay, yeah, he
Oh.
came down
He-
last week too, right? Didn't he?
Yeah, so he's now, like, he's living in Windsor now. So
Really?
we get to see him a lot more often. Of course, formerly #1 in Thunder Bay in terms of the power ranking.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about the story. You
Yeah.
just put him in
Yeah.
a random seed and then realized after.
Oh, yeah. So seeded him properly this time, and he was able to bring his Snake and Mario all the way to 3rd.
Damn.
So
Damn.
starting off pretty strong, 2 weeklies, 2 top 8s, and getting 3rd here is absolutely fantastic. And then we got to see the University of Windsor's Captain K, who he played pretty much the entire roster, so I don't even want to say like which character
Just random
specifically.
every time? Like, what is this?
I think
Does he
he
close his eyes?
Is he like that one friend that shows up to like the house when everybody's playing Smash and just picks random every time to like prove a point or something?
maybe not to prove a point, but I feel like he would do it just for the fun of it. And
I
then
do
if
that
he
with my
happens to
friends.
win, it works.
I'll pull up and there'll be like 5 people all playing or something. We got 4 people on GameCube controllers, some on Joy-Cons.
just want to point out, I did thought it was
me
weird
messing
that
around.
the Overwatch coach suggested Farming Simulator, but it turns
Yeah.
out it was Justin who suggested it the other week. So I was like 2 people really want
Yeah.
Farming Simulator.
He's like, Austin forgot to sign out of his
Yeah.
Twitch. Come on,
He's a very
Austin.
passionate Farming Simulator
He just wants,
advocate.
yeah, he wants all those
Um,
numbers.
Oh, that's great.
But he wasn't the only person from Thunder Bay, right? Like a few other people have been like coming down from that Sudbury area or something recently.
Well, we've had
I didn't hear
Like-
about that.
I only know of Storm from Thunder Bay. I've been hearing a lot of Peterborough.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ventus
Because
Will has been
Ventus Will's
bringing in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
some
she's
people that she
initially
knows.
from Peterborough, so a couple people, I believe, are going to be coming down or have come down already
Okay.
to compete.
So
far is
Peterborough,
Peterborough?
just like the Smash Gods
How far is Peterborough?
of
Just a
Ontario?
little bit past Toronto.
or-
Oh, really?
Not Smash Gods, just probably a relatively smaller scene that does have some killers out there. So you just gotta can't sleep on them, basically.
Yeah, not at all.
Just recruit them down
That's all
here.
it takes, right? So
Yeah,
Ventus
just
Will
one.
was one amazing player, right? So
Mhm.
while they were there, they could have just. It's like me playing against my friends, right? If
Yeah.
I'm way above my friends in a skill level and they keep playing against me, they gain so much skill so quick. Like I
Yeah.
play against my buddy Adam in Smash, and he hasn't played in who knows how long, and I just play my main and just keep going and going and going until he gets the dub. And then
Yeah.
it's just him from there on out. You know what I mean? It's
Must be
just
why
a
I was
matter
always
of
trash at
practicing.
everything.
Pardon?
Must be why I was always trash at everything. 'Cause all my friends just sucked.
Yeah, if your friends suck at your games that you're
You're never
playing,
gonna get
then
better.
you're not gonna
Yeah.
get better. It's just facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might level them up, but you're gonna be stagnant. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
You then need to find that person who's that much better than you.
Like
to
I set
kinda
myself
level
up for losses.
Why do you have to?
sometimes, like
What have
knowing-
you done since you sat
I don't
down?
know. I touched the cloth. Touch my phone screen. I'm touching my nose. It's itchy. Okay.
But
I'm
to
just
wrap-
showing people that I'm sanitizing my hands. You should do the same.
Propaganda at this point.
Just get a banner that has a hand sanitizer bottle on it. Like, get one of the stands right here. Just whoop. Like,
But to wrap up the
It's the
top
automatic.
8, so St. Clair's KV got himself in Palutena to 5th, alongside University of Windsor's Mamba with the Pikachu. And then last week's winner, HP, just breaking the top 8
Yeah.
barely, with the Diddy Kong. And then for the first time, I think, on
Not
the
Diddy
top
Kong.
8 in general, we have Valentino, who's been coming out for about the last 3 months, has always been like kind of hovering around, say, the 10th to like 18, like kind of like in the mid card of sorts. And this is, I believe, his first time cracking top 8. So
That's awesome. Congratulations.
that's pretty
Let's
cool.
go.
I'm gonna have to show up and do that one day when he comes back.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Get slammed.
Listen,
Listen.
I beat Kush with Ness. I'm a god. No,
Was his eyes closed though?
What?
Was his eyes closed?
Yeah. No, shit. No, we played at Xmas Land, and he beat
Yeah,
me
I
like
remember
7
this.
times in a row, and I beat him once, and I threw the controller, and I was like, let's go!
I got it. I'm done now.
Yeah, I literally walked away. I was like, that's it. He's like, come back. I was like, no.
One and done.
I got
and
my
done,
win.
that's
I'm
it.
out of here.
Peace.
Now, on to the next game. We do have a Tespa Hearthstone update. So
They've been
these
killing
guys
it.
have been they've been doing fantastic. They had a 6-0 week this week.
Damn.
With their Monday game versus St.
That
Louis
RNG
University
game.
and their Tuesday
Moist
game
Newt,
versus
man.
St. John's, both being 3-0s.
Damn. I gotta get Moist Newt to play some like old school RuneScape with me or something. I need that RNG that he has. It's just absurd.
He's even got in rock paper
It's
scissors
just
too.
it's stupid.
Apparently, yeah.
It's not even right, bro.
No.
Like it drives me, and I'm baffled every time I see it.
Well, if you can convince him to get off of Diablo to then go play RuneScape, then
Diablo.
You're playing Diablo.
Yikes.
Why?
Diablo in 2020.
There's so many better
Bet
games
he's playing it
out
on the
there.
Switch too, isn't he?
Oh,
No,
no.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, Diablo's okay. It's just I don't know. It wasn't one of the games I grew up on.
I think I started with Diablo 2. That was like
The
my
good
very first
Really?
like addiction. I would have friends over in the summer and they would be out swimming and I would just go in and grind Diablo 2 for like a minute just to get my fix in.
Oh god, that's great. That's all I am.
And then Diablo 3
every day too.
And then
Diablo.
Yeah, and then Diablo 3 happened.
And
I've
then
heard-
just Blizzard Activision happened.
yeah.
Yikes.
Path of Exile is what all my
I was
all
literally
all
just
my
gonna say
old
that.
Diablo friends now play.
Yeah,
is
Path of Exile is a lot of fun. It's a hard game, but once you get like the learning curve of it,
Mm-hmm.
That's just it. There's
it's a lot of wikis.
Very intimidating
Yeah.
on the outside.
Oh
looking
my
in.
God, it's
You're just- you
terrifying.
see the skill tree and you're like,
see the skill tree, you see the inventory, you're like, how does it work? Like, what am I
I've tried so many times to get into that game because Billy from PC Outlet
Yeah.
is a friend of
Yeah.
mine, and that's his main fix for video gaming is Path of Exile.
Everybody
And I've
plays it.
tried
Somebody's
to-
tried it at least.
I've tried to do it, but exactly like you were saying, just if you do this path, you might as well just like start a new character because you did it wrong, and it's like you gotta get these in your like talent tree or
See,
whatever
that's
you
where
want.
you
It's
stress
like,
yourself out though about games. You know what I mean? Like every game that I've played, I don't think there's been one time where I've played a
No.
game and opened up the wiki right off the bat. Because then I'm gonna lose my shit. Like I just start off the game, progress the way I want to progress. Like people are like, oh, there's ways to beat Pokemon the fastest way. I'm like, why? Does it matter? Like let me enjoy
Yeah.
my game.
Yeah.
Like I just want to
Just let
walk
me-
around and catch things. They're like, no, you got to do this IV, this EV. I'm like,
No.
I'm
You
not
enjoy it that
competitive.
way.
I'm
This
just
is a
enjoying.
casual playthrough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I haven't done that. Like I think that's when like I kind of fell out of love with games was when I tried to do like 100%
Exactly,
clears from the
exactly.
beginning without even enjoying it first. So, like I think it was the summer, whatever break we had recently. I went home and played God of War for the first time. I didn't look at anything.
So good.
And I actually like enjoyed play. I didn't turn my
Exactly.
computer on for a week. I just played God of War without looking at anything.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
I missed actually like being bad and like at games kind
Learning.
of just like playing it, actually like learning how to play, not like wikiing everything. Oh,
Yeah.
this is the best OP build. You can get this at like 2 hours in, and just like
I'm like,
the
why?
game's a waste.
You just break the game that way. It's like you're bombing through it, and it wasn't even like
Yeah.
it wasn't hard. Like God of War was actually probably one of the best games I've ever played in my life, and I didn't look anything up like at all. Like
Damn.
I think there was one point where I was just lost. I didn't know where to go, and I was like, "What do I do after
Yeah.
killing this person?" And it's just like, "Oh, go this way." I'm like,
Well, it was like watching Harry
Thanks.
play Dark Souls 3 yesterday.
Oh my
like that's how
God.
you're supposed to play games. Like you
That
learn
is.
how to play, and
Yeah.
then you get progressively get better instead of just him like looking up the boss strat and just like one-shotting it. It's like that's no fun.
I
just
got
did it on
mushed
accident.
so many times. I watched Harry play. He died like 30 times or something in the total time. I might have died like 15 times when I got to the Vort, or whatever his name was. But it was, dude, you know when you just play a game and you're just at a loss for words when
Yup.
you come up to a boss and it just obliterates you. You're like,
I did
you just put the remote down like very calmly and just stare at the screen. You're like, okay, like take a deep breath, grab it.
Don't
And the thing
break
about Dark
anything.
Souls is when you die too, it puts up that fog on the door that you can't get out of. So it's like breathe, relax, don't get mad, catch your breath, and then go fight the boss. It's like it's trying to calm you
Anxiety
down.
inducing.
Yeah, it's like relax.
Then your heart, you see the health like just like one hit left, and your heart starts racing.
You're like spamming your S's flask. You're like, oh, drink.
And then you forget about one mechanic and you get one.
Yep. Makes sense. It's the way she goes. Harry cheated yesterday, though.
He did cheat.
He used,
He'll never live it down.
He used a character, used an NPC.
He had an NPC and he summoned in like another player to come. And
Wait, was that player actually like online or was it just like a?
Yeah. So you can
NPC of
summon
his
in other,
character?
like they put like the sigils on or whatever to represent like a covenant. Like you can either, then that's how like they,
Damn.
another one, if it was they were blue, they can protect you if someone invades you type of thing.
Okay.
So he summoned in some guy and he just wrecked everything. And then he even had an NPC and they just destroyed the second boss. So it kind of made it irrelevant, but it was fun. And that's what like video games should be fun. I think a lot of people forget that sometimes. Like video games are like
supposed to have fun on those.
meant to be fun.
I thought it was just all esports
I mean, when you play
competition.
Siege competitively, it's never going to be fun, is it?
It's more fun than the actual game.
Probably not.
It is. It actually is.
No, because one of your teammates dies, you probably lose your mind. But if you're playing like a regular, just
No, it's less.
really.
Especially right now with the comp pool and maps
Actually, I can kind of
and-
see it because I play quick play in Overwatch now, and like I'm just trying to get my 6 loot box or my 3 loot boxes, and you gotta get like 9 wins. And
Yeah.
if somebody messes it up for me and they just do terrible, I just die going off in the chat. But if
yeah.
I'm playing comp and somebody's doing trash, I'm like just change your character. It's that simple. Just change your character, and they're like, okay, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just I
Yeah,
don't
like
know.
last night we did a scrim against with the September team against Colorado Springs, and the second map we 7-0'd them. I had no kills, but I had 5 out of 6 plants. It's like I was literally just like, that's all I did.
You knew your role.
Yeah, I did my role.
That's all it is. That's what pisses me off too. You ever play Mystery Heroes in Overwatch? Everybody's playing DPS healer. I'm like, what are you doing? Just play your role and we'll win. And they're like, no, it's Mystery Heroes. I'm like, we had 2 Mercies, 2 Reinhardts, a Diva, and like a soldier or something like that. Within seconds, Mercy's dead. Like both of them. They're both fighting. Like, why are you fighting
Are you
junk?
Battle
Battle
Mercy.
Are you telling me that you're stressing out over Mystery Heroes?
I do sometimes. Genuinely do. Because, like, you'll get, like, the most OP comp, and then they're just like, all right, everybody battle. No healing. Just fight. No shields. Just swing your hammer. That's it. Like, no matrixes. Just kill everything. Like,
Just shoot.
But speaking of Overwatch, I want to touch on it real quick because even just by saying this, it's still taking
forfeit
longer
win?
than the actual match itself because, once again, as the team would say, a dub's a dub, but
a
We
dub
take those.
is
it's
a
yet another
dub.
forfeit win.
Wait,
for
who's
the
saying is
Overwatch.
that? Is
It's
that
like-
Seymour?
it's
Is this
Seymour,
Seymour?
yeah.
A
A dub's a dub. What was that one picture he posted? When he was like, he's just like, yeah, he's
Dub's
like,
a
a
dub.
dub's a dub. And you commented, you're like, why do I picture you looking like you're gonna body slam somebody off of the top
Mystery
ropes or
Heroes
something?
Yeah.
is the only
Climb-
game mode with competitive integrity.
Literally though, because you're like, it's just random. You know what I mean? You have no opportunity. You don't know what you're gonna get. You just go at it, and then you just get crappy teammates.
Wow.
I was actually hyped up. I was gonna sign up for the Mystery Heroes 1v1s because I'm like neutral with all characters, but no man's land.
Yeah,
Nope.
it did
Take it
make me
online.
laugh seeing Seymour's pose.
Yeah,
I can
that
just
was
imagine
great.
He's climbing to
He
the
had
top
the
of the ladder,
sleeve on too.
just
Dub's a
swanton
dub.
bomb somebody off the top.
Oh, I miss.
I tuned into
Miss
that
Wrestling.
broadcast too at 9. Was it on a Saturday?
Yeah.
I had nothing to do. I was like, yeah, I'll just watch the Overwatch game. And then I tuned in and it's
I
just
was-
Dan.
I was so sad, man. Like,
Yeah, it was-
the advertising went perfect. Everybody came in. We had 87 people tune in within 20 minutes for a forfeit.
and this is how it's different from No Man's Land, because if that happened at No Man's Land, it's like, what can you do? We have nothing in control of this. But this was completely different because
Yep.
it was out of your control, but it was in someone else's control. And it's like,
That's what drove me nuts, yeah.
we have it happen so many times. There was one week it happened we had 3 forfeit wins.
Yeah.
And
Some good
I
TikTok
it's like,
content. That's all I can
it's so
say.
frustrating, but
Yeah, especially since I think we had did a CSGO match prior, so that started from 3. It went to about 6 o'clock. And it's like, oh, I could go home, but no, I should probably stay here for the streaming
Should've went
Overwatch. Just sit around
Should've
wasting
went home.
3 hours when I should have just went home. But
you can't do that though, because it's your job to be like.
Yeah.
A lot of teams don't understand. It's like we're paying these people to be here. Like you or the production team or people on scholarships, or like we have people that come an hour away to play from the facility, and then it's like, oh sorry, like no game. Like this is like, I told my girlfriend this happened, and she was like, are they allowed to do that? Like why is that allowed? And I was just like, I don't know. It's
there needs to be
a lot of people
There needs to be,
justify
like,
it somehow.
a forfeit rule. You forfeit. Like that's what they were.
Like Sean got into it on Twitter, and like these other people were defending it. They're like 10% forfeit rate's like a really good number. It's like no, it's not. It should be zero. It's like why is this any different from any other sport? Like imagine driving to like a Leaf game, or I guess here a Red Wing game. God forbid. Like I don't know why you would go to a Red Wing game, but it's like you're driving to a game that you paid money for. You get to the door, and it's like, oh, sorry, the game's postponed like 5 hours. Do you mind just like waiting?
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You wait the 5 hours. They're like, yeah, the Red Wings forfeited. Sorry.
Yeah, or,
Oh
it's just I just find it unacceptable, and like the way that people defend it as well. It's like
I think
that's not how you kind of move. We need to move forward. We have to start
Exactly.
vilifying these forfeit wins and the people that are doing it at the last second. Obviously, things happen. We have to
Especially
be
with
understandable as well, especially right now. But previous to this, we had a lot of forfeits.
Yeah, even
Yeah,
still.
for no reason. Half
Yeah.
the time you wouldn't even get a notice until like 10 minutes before the game is supposed to start. I'm like, what do you mean? Did your players just like, did one of your players get in a car accident?
Yeah.
That should be like the only reason you're messaging me
And we're
10
in
minutes
contact
before.
with them all the time,
That's what
all
I
day,
mean.
right? And then it doesn't happen until 10 minutes before, 5 minutes before, 15 minutes after you're supposed to play. It's like, just give us a heads up or something.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like-
that's what was the most frustrating thing about Saturday's match, because they had actually gone as far, like they had contacted Q, the coach, of course, saying, hey, we want to reschedule. And, of course, our no reschedules policy is actually a thing. That coach or that captain or whatever called Sean to confirm if that's actually a thing. And it's like, yeah, we don't do reschedules. We had too much trouble within the last 2 years in regards to rescheduling. And like you were saying, production has to come in, like players have to come in and play on site. Said, okay, yeah, we'll be there. And then
Just not show up.
Yeah.
they all came in. The player who could not make it was trying to play off of hotel Wi-Fi.
Oh,
So, I mean,
it's hard.
a
So
point
they
for-
say. It's like,
a
who
point-
knows
Yeah.
if that's actually what
Right.
happens too. But
Hotel.
if that is the case, a point for trying, but still, why?
yeah,
It just
We are undefeated as
is
heck.
unfortunate.
it's true.
It is. Take
A
those.
dub's a dub. A dub's
Dub's
a
a dub
dub.
in the end,
We
but
take those.
some you're
You don't
happier
want to
for
take those, right?
No.
It's like, and you call these teams out on Twitter afterwards, and they just go radio silent.
Yeah,
and
they don't say
I
anything.
think the one week when we had the 3 forfeits, True memed them so hard with those
Yeah, I
posts
remember
on
that.
Twitter,
Yeah.
and like nothing from them. And that's what we need to do. It's like,
You gotta embarrass them.
yeah, it's
But
like,
I think it's also
How do
in
they
the
expect
leagues,
us-
though, too. Like a lot of leagues, I find
That doesn't matter though.
well, yeah, we were getting
league
messed
also
around
has to
in
obviously say
Tespa with
things.
COD.
Like COD, the admin just switched the default play day because the
Yeah.
other team asked.
That was pretty unacceptable.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
That is stupid.
We
That
got,
should
for
not
those that
happen.
didn't know, we had a TESPA game last week. It was our very first one. And this team, who was also a NACE member, so being a NACE means that if you're in NACE, you follow the rules. You're all
Yeah.
supposed to follow the same rules.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reasons why a lot of schools join NACE is so that they play by the default times. And this school didn't want to do that. So it was their March break, so they wouldn't have players available. So instead, they complained to the admins and moved the default time somehow. I don't know how that works. It's technically not a reschedule. They moved the default time.
To
Our March break.
That is a reschedule.
Yeah.
What do you mean they
So that's
moved
how
the
they
default?
defended it, and they didn't tell us until like 45 minutes before the game. We're already here, so it's like this is why it gets so frustrating.
It does.
Absurd.
It's like people just these leagues are bending the rules. It's not even the teams. It's
Mhm.
Yeah.
and like you're just helpless.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
No, it's completely absurd. How do they expect us to get on the big stages like all the other leagues and stuff that are actually out there? Not
They
the
want to be
collegiate
taken
ones.
seriously. This is
Exactly.
not how you do
If you
it.
want to be taken
Yeah.
seriously, show up to your games.
Yeah.
Don't forfeit. If you have to forfeit, it better be because somebody's literally dying, like coronavirus. You know what I mean? Accidents, something like that. That would make sense. Your computers aren't working at the school, power outages, stuff like that. But just because one of your players is going on vacation, are you kidding me? Like,
right, like
Well,
there's a reason
I
why
mean-
you're allowed.
yeah. Oh, we already
March
ripped
break.
on him for that. We ripped on him for that. But that's considerable though, right? It's March break. It's just it's crappy when it comes to March
it's because all the
because
schools
the
are on
states
different breaks. Right?
exactly.
Yeah. Like I
That's
know for
almost
you, Windsor,
impossible.
their spring break was
Happened
in
already.
February.
Yeah, and it wasn't even spring break.
So it's
it
like,
was just
what do the
reading
leagues
week
need
or
to
something.
do? Do
Yeah.
the leagues have to shut down for 3 weeks because all schools are on
Well, they
different
should
breaks?
just find out
Yeah,
what
that's
schedule
not
or
the
what
case.
weeks, like what weeks there are that people have vacations, and if their team can play. For instance,
yeah,
if your
I
team
mean,
can't play, then just don't
lot of
schedule them
the-
that week or something. You
yeah.
know what I mean? But they don't ask the questions that need to be
The
asked
leagues-
sometimes, right?
The TESPA COD League has games scheduled at 11 Eastern. 9 and 11 Eastern are the
Are you kidding me?
default times. Like, I don't understand how it's students and their academics is priority, but they're making them. These are varsity invitational, so that means supposed to be playing from the facilities. Who knows how far they're coming from? These guys could be up till 2 in the morning, coming back home from their varsity game. What if they have to get up at 6 for an 8 a.m. class? It's like the default times don't make sense. That league doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, CVRE had us playing at, what was it, 10 p.m. the first year? Or no, they had us playing at like 10:45 or something, 10:40 starting time.
Ridiculous.
And like we're like, you guys realize like we're ET, right? They're like, what? We're like, yeah, it's like 11 p.m. for us right now. You guys want us to play VR? Like, you want me to bang this wall with my fist and just wake up everybody in my house? You know what I mean?
Are they Pacific? Is that why?
Yeah, they're all in different time zones. But I get that still. Like, regardless, just we have the game scheduled on days where everybody's schedule is open for a fact. Like, we get all the. That's how it should be. I get we're a smaller league, so it's easier. But we get everybody's schedule all together. You get all your players' schedules and say this is the day we're free.
That's hard.
I mean,
but we only have 6 teams. That's what I'm saying. It's smaller for us. It's much easier.
I feel like the latest that a match should start is similar to how
like
I think Rainbow has it, where it's like 9 o'clock. Because that's probably like okay for everybody.
It's weird for us because they were supposed to stream all 3 games, right, throughout the night. So the first game would start at 8 p.m., second one would start at 9, and the third would start at 10. And they would stream all 3 games. It would work out, right? It would be completely fine. But now they're not streaming the games, and it's just a mess. And there's not much we could do about it. Like, I'm an admin for the CVRE, and there's nothing we could do about it. There's schools there's schools getting shut down now because of the corona. We didn't think that was going to be an issue yet, but last week we had to reschedule every single match for the entire night because of a bunch of issues. So we moved them all to after March break, but who knows if we can even do those now considering what's going on.
Like, maybe these leagues need to pivot to way professional sports does. They have Eastern times and then Pacific times, right? So it's like in NHL, they have 7 o'clock games and 10 o'clock games generally.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're going to have a mixture of those teams playing, so maybe you find middle ground, but like those should be the times. If two Pacific teams are playing, they play at the 10 o'clock time because that would be 7 for them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Something like that.
It's
like
conferences.
Like we just need to have more. It's all like I talk to this about every single person, but it's communication. There's no communication anywhere. So like it's like TESPA's not communicating, their admins aren't communicating. We're trying to communicate, but we're not getting anything back. So
it's hard when
we have to try and grow it somehow. Like we have to just communicate more.
Yeah.
Call them out on Twitter like we have been, making it a big deal. Like we saw that thing with Riot. That's a whole other issue, the League of Legends thing.
But
that's a mess and a half. I don't know how they... apparently, Riot is completely A-okay with NA being absolute dog at League of Legends. Like, how are they supposed to... Are we just going to see, like, Poe Belter in the mid lane for 10 more years because, like, no other teams have been able to build up because the challenger scene and high school college scene is just basically non-existent? I don't know how the heck they expect
to get new players,
to get interest for new players, get new players growing with only essentially, like they said, the competitions can only be 14 days long, which means you're basically forced to do a Teemo Cup. That's all it is. I
pitched that league intramural kind of idea a while ago, which obviously would be impossible under these rules. I know Sheridan they might have just wrapped it up, but they had a semester-long league intramurals. It looked like a really good idea. It's like that's what we should be doing to grow the sport, and the fact that they're actively
taking it away.
Yeah, just like neutering their own growth, that makes absolutely no sense. It's a whole other issue. I'm sure people can find it on Twitter. It's
all over.
It's a mess.
Yeah, sorry if I cut you off for your thought, but as soon as you said that,
I know.
It just triggered something.
It's a
when
mess.
I read that just sent me to
because how many people are interested in league here? Like we know that there's how many showed up for tryouts? Over 40.
I think there was like 80 between the two or something like that. Or
so it's like there's more than enough people here to have an intramural League of Legends tournament over a semester and have like a really good prize attached to it. But if Riot goes through with these rules and sanctions, it would be impossible.
It just devalues all of these varsity programs too that do want to have League of Legends on the roster, because you're just, instead of being able to represent yourself in a league, now you're stuck to only small like weekend tournaments that are basically all day long. And let's be honest, if it's something like CLOL or CSL, then we're not going to be done until 2 in the morning when starting at 12. I'm having bad flashbacks. I'm sorry.
Well,
But, yeah.
I was listening to sports radio this morning. I'm sure you guys saw I tweeted about it. It pissed me right off. So I was listening to sports radio to get the news on the NHL, and then this one guy is just like, well, esports, they're gonna be licking their lips right now, just thinking that everything is online, that that's just all what we do. It's like they don't understand that we've canceled
CS:GO,
everything.
Rocket League,
tournament organizers in
TwitchCon.
shambles right now.
TwitchCon got canceled?
TwitchCon in Amsterdam did,
Yeah,
Confirmed?
it's just an absolute mess, and the fact that they think that we're going to be okay, we're immune, no pun intended, we're immune to this doesn't make any sense.
I mean, it helps and it doesn't help too.
Listen,
though.
we're stinky gamers. We might be dirty, but we
Speak for
still
yourself, Brendan.
we clean
You guys got the hand
ourselves
signal.
often. Okay. The stigma is not true.
Yeah,
All right.
so everything's just triggering now, and the fact that Riot's doing that just adds fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
It's like it is thankful that we can move some of our stuff online, but you're not gonna have League World Finals or whatever.
Yeah, what
If
happens
that's
to LCS?
online,
Yeah, it's
Yeah. Overwatch.
you're
got
getting a
rescheduled.
piece of it, but you're not getting the full experience. So
it's we've grown.
It's
We've
rough.
been actively trying to grow away from that, right? And now we're kind of taking so many steps back into all these things.
it's gonna force the broadcast, because I know I've been thinking about it, even though most of our stuff is just online anyway, not so much in person. But if it's strictly an online kind of broadcast, online matches with no live crowd, the closest thing you have is Twitch chat, right? So you need to figure out
Yeah, Twitch,
You have
that's
to-
what you want.
you have to pander to try and, if you want to keep that community experience, you have to try and reach out to the chat to try and get them involved. But let's be honest, if something has more than 500 viewers, 100 viewers, even
Yeah,
less sometimes, it just gets to a whole new level of toxic, and it's difficult to deal with. So yes, our matches are still going, it's still fine, but we're still losing so
VR
much.
viewing parties though.
It's almost like you're there,
Okay,
right?
who's on that? Who's on that account? Yes. They need to be banned. CVR
If you
League.
ban her,
Oh, it's her. Oh, okay, never mind.
Well, I mean, viewing parties is a
if
gathering.
it could
is
be,
an
it could be,
event.
it could
Yeah,
be
we can,
Mizuchi, it could be Mizuchi,
We
could be
can't.
Mizuchi.
We can't do the most simplest of things right now. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't. Do you think we do VR viewing parties?
I can't have controllers sitting out for more than one person to touch. You can't do anything.
Without wiping them down and everything.
Yeah.
So
So it's a rough spot for.
Oh my god, I
everybody.
can't even imagine running the Oculus booth right now at DreamHack. That
Oh.
would have been insane if this was around at the time of. We had to wipe every headset down before passing it over, wipe the remotes down before passing it over. So imagine if there was a virus
Everyone
around
has to wear gloves.
when that happens. That would be
Gloves and a face mask.
Yeah.
terrible.
I just want to quickly run it over back to some additional scores, because Counter-Strike had a relatively decent weekend, but unfortunately they are going to be getting knocked out of the CSL playoffs. They had an insane game on Saturday where they were up against the University of North Carolina. They went to Game 3. I believe that one went to overtime as well,
Yeah.
and they were able to clutch it out, move on to a game on Sunday. However, they did lose to the University of Texas 0-2, and not super convincing fashion.
Texas
but
Tech?
It wasn't necessarily the closest. No, I'm not. Don't think it was Texas Tech, but
Okay, I was gonna say,
I
what are
think
the
that's the
odds?
Longhorns, baby.
and then
I could just pull their I don't know why.
I'm a
but
sports guy, so
as
I
soon as
I
you
see.
said that, I just imagine their bus pulling up. Their team bus, just horns on the front.
Oh yeah, so I saw University of North Carolina, so it's I immediately think, oh, they played the Tar Heels. So
Yeah.
that's how I attach those things. I'm sure I'm the only one.
That's great though.
Counter-Strike still has a season, though. They still have the NACE season to go through, and they've been, I believe, pretty much flawless in that so far. Won again last night versus the University of Kansas, so we'll probably still see that every
Yeah, what is
Wednesday at 8.
that? Top 16 right now?
Or that's where they finished in CSL.
Oh, okay.
They did get top 16. I think they get a little bit of prize money out of the deal, too, so they did make it pretty far.
Very nice.
It was a very nice run, but unfortunately it does stop there. But
I don't know the
NACE is
University of
still
Kansas
kicking.
sports team. I think it's the Gamecocks, but someone can correct me on that.
Mhm.
Can use my sports knowledge here.
Your guess is as good
Gamecock
as mine.
is a thing.
I'm not gonna complain because I met a team called Team Dix, DIXX,
Yes.
out at DreamHack. And they're really funny.
They're actually a thing.
Yeah, they're pretty good at games. We convinced them to get VR at that. That was awesome.
Ooh,
Yeah, now they're
nice.
doing VR sports, so it's cool.
Now, want to throw it over to Jake as we got ourselves an update for Rainbow Six Siege. You had a game versus Michigan State.
Yeah, sadly, we cannot pull out the dub. We lost 2-0 last Friday, but it was a good game. We just couldn't.
Jake's fault. Just saying.
Don't come over there, VR. Don't make me come over there, VR boy.
Probably
We talked about this before. We weren't going to devalue each other's games.
I'm not devaluing his game. I'm devaluing him.
I'm going on him too.
It's two different things.
Coach difference,
okay?
right? Coach difference.
Yeah.
Coach diff.
Which team has more
Okay.
wins?
Just wait till
Stop.
September. But yeah, sadly, we could not beat them. And then this week we got a forfeit win
That's
for
a dub.
CEA. It's a dub. We take those. But they
We
messaged
need an
me.
emote on Saints Gaming for
I
forfeit
told
wins.
Colin, give me a good quality shot of him doing
Yeah.
that,
Yeah, I'll
and
go
I
get
will
it
make that
today.
an emote in a
Like-
second.
Yeah, we gotta get that.
Get Andrew's camera
but-
and just do it today.
They messaged me yesterday morning about them not being able to make it because of the coronavirus. So it's
Well,
I mean, I get it, but
Yeah.
still, like, he messaged me at 10 a.m. when we've known for a couple weeks now that we've had this game scheduled.
Well, they probably didn't get shut down. Only
Who
schools,
knows?
schools
It's-
just
I
started
think
Yeah,
you have to
shut
cut
down
him some
yesterday.
slack in this situation.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get that, but
Yesterday morning was when they started announcing school shutdowns.
I think
Yeah.
because I think this might be the last priority for a lot of people. Like,
Yeah.
who knows if these people live on campus and they're told to move, right? It's like their
I can't
life
even
could be like
imagine.
spiraling right now. So
What are they going to do to people in res, actually, now that you say that? I never thought about
I don't
that.
want to speculate.
yeah,
Are
I have
they
no
just
idea.
gonna-
They need to. I think they
quarantine
need to
them,
sanitize res anyway, regardless
Oh,
of the
yeah.
coronavirus.
I know a
so
couple
I mean,
people that were there.
I
that
think you need to
definitely
go in there
to be
with a hazmat
sanitized.
suit, regardless or not if people are infected. So who knows what's going on? That's just me spreading more propaganda.
Colin says
Yeah.
your tablecloth is poo.
What the?
what? This is nice. This is actually.
you
It's
see
got the-
this
It's got
guy?
the Tespa logo on it.
You're
Well, I guess
talking. You're talking to this guy.
I mean, maybe not. Maybe just like blur with the Tesla logo, but like
unfortunate.
No, I didn't. I don't know where it is.
it's like on the bag,
Yeah.
backpack.
Colin probably doesn't even use a tablecloth
I
because
thought
he's a
there's a
filthy
Tespa on
animal.
this
So.
Yeah,
Oh.
but, this guy just eats bare things. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. Stop. Oh, okay.
Alright.
They're both on their count. They're both on one
Okay.
account, and they're arguing with each other.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I guess Justin forgot to log out on something too.
So don't call
Karma.
it
I'm
awesome.
seeing a common pattern here between Overwatch players and
Ooh.
Yeah,
coaches.
get your stuff together, guys. Come on. I'm gonna get you all banned on Twitch.
And from the nest, clean it.
Oh, I swear to God.
And speaking of other things that need to be sanitized,
Yes, please, people, keep
What?
that thing clean. The nest.
Oh yeah.
Come
oh
on,
my
guys.
God, this guy's gonna pop a blood vessel if you don't. He's just gonna go nuts. I will help him also.
What absolutely drives me nuts, and I apologize to anyone else who doesn't
Rant,
like,
Dan. Go on your rant.
to anyone who
Get 'em.
doesn't obviously
Get 'em.
partake to, but of course I see the nest similar to like how a standard sports gym would be, right? God forbid you leave one basketball on the court after you're done playing, somebody would be lighting you on fire.
Get a beating.
Whether that be like in all spots of school, even like arenas themselves, they get flustered, right? So when I go in there and I see like headsets on the ground and whatnot, or the DX racers have pillows all over the place, I understand if you don't like the pillow, but can you put it back?
They used to
from-
take me off at this classroom when I came in, and there was like pieces of the chairs just on the table. I'm like,
well, even coming in here and you had to like someone had the setups all mixed
Yeah,
up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
want
Yeah,
to know
it's
what
like-
grinds my
That
gears?
might have
We
been
need
us
that
from
meme,
yesterday.
Dan.
I don't know.
Where's
This
Yeti?
segment pops
Where's
up at
Yeti?
the top. Want to know what grinds my gears?
Featuring
Dan.
Mr.
Oh my
Danners.
I could definitely pull that.
Yeah.
segment.
Aw, that'd be great.
No, but for real, come on now. You guys want to get a esports arena? You think
Oh,
we're
man,
gonna deal with that in that?
Oh,
you guys
I'm
just aren't
dying.
gonna be allowed to come in if you do that.
When
You're just
one of
gonna
you
kick out.
told me earlier, it's like, yeah, you think
Yes.
it's rough right now? Aren't you supposed to be looking after an arena one day?
It's gonna
possibly?
be rough if that does
And
happen, and
I was
people are
like-
still like that.
I shuddered a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. When I
But-
saw you complain, or not complain, when I saw you say it, I was just like, I wonder how he's gonna feel about having to deal with like twice as much, not even twice, a way bigger space. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because people are
Um,
just gonna. We're esports players. They're dirty sometimes. They make messes.
Gamer gunk.
Gamer
Gamer
gun.
Gunk.
Oh God.
That's an issue. Gamer gunk. If you got
Gamer
gamer gunk,
gunk.
you need to go to the doctor.
No, that's. Oh God. I guess just to the players and whatnot here, I just try. I don't like to be the person adding everybody and just lighting everybody on fire, but
You said it before,
I just-
though, so they should get it now.
It's
I just
like-
always think of it. If I brought, say, my family in to see where I work. And I get to show them how it is every once in a while, or not every once in a while, like 3/4 of the time, I think is what I put.
Yeah.
I would genuinely feel embarrassed.
I feel that.
And I consider that, like, say, with a new student or a new parent thinking about possibly choosing this school for
That would be
esports.
With how many
and
tours we have?
We have
Yeah.
a lot of tours going
There's
on
just
lately.
people
Well,
in the
not anymore,
nest,
but-
like, asleep with the chairs laid all the way back, lights out, or there's just junk all over the
God.
This
place.
is what peak
If-
performance looks like.
Honestly,
this is one of
the
our
first
varsity
time-
players.
That's the last
My
thing that I
first time
want.
seeing the nest, I walked by the nest, and I kid you not, there was like 2 people on the right side of the nest. If you're like facing it, there was 2 people on the right side. DX racers laid all the way back, like
Just KO'd.
right beside each other. DX racers all the way back, hands up, and their eyes were just shut. And I was like, okay.
No.
Walk over to the other side. I saw you in there actually with a couple people, and like you guys just looked like you were so stressed for some reason. You guys were just like running around the nest. I don't remember why. It was like my first time seeing the nest.
It was
And I was
probably
just like,
setting
so
up
is
a
that?
broadcast of some sort.
Yeah, probably.
Tell me
Yeah.
if this is the same person, but God bless him. He helped us out when we needed someone to cover for the booth once. But Abdallah, former League of Legends
yeah.
player,
Dude.
fell asleep at our booth.
He falls, dude. He falls asleep.
Oh.
everywhere.
I remember
Like,
seeing him just sitting there, PC, playing games. Right. This was when I was playing VR, but not as a varsity team yet.
Yeah.
So we were just like around, right?
first semester.
So like I'd walk by the nest and like look in there and stuff, right, and whatnot. I swear to God, this kid would be sitting there playing games, and within the matter of like 5 minutes, he'd go from like an intense game of League to just
Yep, I don't know. He flipped the switch, as
I
the kids
loved
say
it.
right now.
I went to like grade school and high school, and that kid did it all the time.
that's great,
Like,
man. I wish.
Grades, like anytime like we look over in grade school, just KO'd
I wish.
on the desk.
I wish I could do that. Yeah,
Dude,
exactly.
I used to. It started
Envious.
happening in grade 11. You know, like you're starting to get older. You're starting to get like more tired
What?
throughout the days.
Getting
It-
older in grade 11.
No, you know what I mean? From when you're being a kid, you've got all this energy all day, even if you didn't have breakfast. Grade 11, you
Dude,
wake up, you
naps
don't
are
have
great.
breakfast or coffee or anything, you're like exhausted. It's like right now, basically. You know what I mean?
I've tons of energy. I can't relate,
did
but continue.
not when I was in grade 11. I was
Naps
so
are so
sluggish in
nice.
grade 11. But yeah, I couldn't even sleep. Like when I first started being able to sleep in grade 11, I had teachers that would chuck erasers at my head when I was at Holy Names.
That actually happened to me. I had to go to the
Yep.
principal.
You
Oh.
what?
It happened to me. I had to go to the principal after.
You went to the principal? Like
A teacher
they
threw an
sent you?
eraser at me. No, I went to like complain about the teacher. 'cause he
No,
whipped
see,
an
this
eraser
teacher
at me.
was like really sweet, and she was just like looking out for me. She knew I was just being a little shithead that week, so she was like, "Get back on the grind. You're being dumb. You're skipping class. You're not doing your homework.
Yeah.
You come in here and be a little depressed boy."
Yes,
so
can't
get up."
speak for the boomers.
Yes, can't. I sometimes can, to be honest.
Nah, we need the actual
Honestly,
boomer
like
the
out of
class on
everybody
this.
in our class besides Harry and Chris, I've got like and Dan.
Hmm?
Yeah, and Dan. I've probably got
Tread
like
careful
the
now.
oldest like maturity when I'm not acting like a child. You know,
You're
when
always
I'm trying,
a child.
when I'm trying, when there's people around, okay? But when it comes to just you guys, I'm stupid. It's
Mm-hmm.
what can I say? The acousticism kicks in, as Andrew would say.
Every once in a while, gotta throw everyone back on track, but
Yeah.
it definitely happens. And just to, I guess, quickly finish off that thought, like in regards to the nest, I just want to have it to a point where
Yeah,
we
this
can
is a
get it
legit
to,
child. I agree. That's like the truest.
I'll come across this
stat.
table right now. Right now. I don't care about this fancy Razer freaking laptop you
But
got
I
on the table.
I think it's like the forfeit wins. If you see someone in the nest that's like treating it unprofessionally, I think you just
Call
take a
them
picture of them and put them on blast.
Do it in the players' chat.
Do
Put
it.
them on blast.
Do it. No, send it to me and I'll just put it on the Saints Gaming Twitter.
Someone
and be
leaves.
like, this player.
That is
Someone-
probably a bad idea. Let's not.
Do it in the player chat though. Call them out.
No, just everybody.
Chris cringe. Chris
Let's-
cringes when I talk
I
in
did
general.
cringe,
Okay, like you could just see it in his eyes, the pain. The what's that one meme called? The
Which one?
Harold guy, the really old guy, and his
the
eyes
stock
are like,
photo.
yeah, he looks very sad. Or in
But I
pain.
mean, in terms of our group, we only have about 9 of us. So I mean, you being in the middle of the pack and maturity level is, I guess, true.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm in the middle
Who's
of
the
like
bottom,
everything,
Kush?
middle of like
Kush.
grades, middle of experience.
Kush has turned a corner actually.
He
this
has.
past
Are you
semester.
kidding me?
Dude, he shows up
These
to
guys
class
have
more
not
than
had.
he shows up to class more than you do.
You're kidding, dude.
No.
You're kidding.
Kush has been in the Friday
Kush
classes.
literally told me
Yeah.
he hasn't been showing up to classes because one of us has the coronavirus. I'm
He
like,
just
yeah,
wants you
that's
to feel.
fine.
He just
That's
wants
fine.
you to feel better. But no, Kush has been turning it around. I think.
Yeah.
You know, he's being good. He's
Same with his
been a
presentations
good
too
boy,
for
I
classes.
Yeah, he's actually doing them. I think a day before now.
Yeah,
instead
or
of
the, like the night
day
of instead of
Yeah.
like during.
instead of watching
in class
us do
while other
ours
people are
and
presenting.
doing
So, I mean,
his.
that's progress. It's
It
great.
is.
You love to see it.
Before this
Oh,
segment
God.
turns into a class or a class bashing, I just want
Better than
to
team.
quickly go over
Our
some.
old classmates.
You'll have to tell me if some of them aren't happening, but as of right now, this is what I've got for upcoming matches. So, Thursday. So today there is still the Rocket League match happening for NACE. That'll be happening 8 o'clock on the main channel. Then Friday we do have CR Rainbow Six Siege at 9.
We will.
Do we know who we play?
We play.
Are we winning?
Yes, we will.
Hold him to that.
Right answer.
Clip that.
Hold on. We're holding some pylons.
His face, it was like,
No, wait for it to load. We are playing Eastern Illinois University.
Okay, so that's a 9 o'clock start, I believe.
Yes, 8:30.
8:30 start. Yes. Okay. My script is lying on me. But then Saturday,
CS 9.
it says Tespa Overwatch. However, I
Probably
kinda
another forfeit
got,
win. We take those.
As Seymour would
kind
say,
of got a.
we take those.
See where we need you
I think
after
it's going to be a
class.
forfeit, or it's going to get rescheduled on Saturday for
Make
Overwatch.
a
so I'm not sure.
coronavirus online league.
Best just to keep tabs on the Twitter because everything's going to be in disarray these next couple days,
Yeah,
weeks.
that's
Definitely.
huge.
Day by day. If you think a game's going to be on a day, just check because it'll probably get changed.
Yeah, ask in the Discords. I'm sure everyone will
Yeah.
be willing to help out
Teams who suffered from the coronavirus. Could
So-
there.
So I hope you guys have been paying attention to the streams this week because I need a little help here trying to determine some MVPs for the week. Because as of right now, I have ConCon for CSGO, but nobody else.
I guess he wins. Wins by default.
ConCon by default?
Well, if I could interject, he is a junior varsity player, but I actually submitted Dawson, the team captain of COD, for the NASEF Player of the Month.
That's awesome.
I was literally just gonna say Dawson.
Yeah, I like
He's
that.
just like tremendously committed and consistent. I don't know, like I don't deal with anyone, captains or managers other than him, so I can't. Obviously, I'm super biased towards it. But I'm just like super proud of that team, what they've accomplished. I think they're 8-5 now. They're in the middle of the pack, but I think that's still great in CCL, which is like 80 teams or something.
Wow.
I mean, I told them as long as you're not last, I think that's a great accomplishment.
You're not first or last.
I was literally just gonna say that.
But in
Also-
terms of CCL,
Yeah.
when there's 80 teams,
Yeah.
I mean, and there's some amazing, like the skill gap in CCL is unbelievable.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
It's like,
so
I think we're playing Concord soon, which is just an absolute top tier team. Like, we're not writing the game off. It's going to be we're not going to win, but like the goal is to just progress against these good teams. Maybe you get a few more points than you did last time, but
Yeah.
I think Dawson's been doing a great job with the team, especially getting promoted to the junior varsity status, which they kind of started last week. But that's my pick, my biased opinion.
No, that's definitely fair. For the longest time, we've essentially like not even considered the Call of Duty squad. However, they've been doing an absolutely like fantastic job. Even like thinking about say results or whatever, like them putting in the work that they're putting in right now, they could be last, and I'd still be like very happy with what they were doing. But no, these guys are easily like blowing our expectations out of the water.
yeah, they
And
are.
I have absolutely no objection.
You know
with
what, Dan?
I see where the
1,
strat is going, and I like it.
4, 5. Wait.
You
That's
can't
the
count.
Same people saying
You
it
can't count the
repetitively.
2 people spamming chat.
1, 2,
Just
3, 3,
No,
3.
2,
2.
2,
Yeah, just 2.
just 2. 2 people are voting Danish for MVP.
Well, I definitely thank you, but the production team
Oh,
is
Dawg-
technically not a part of MVP.
I'm pretty sure that's Dawson.
I mean,
Hey, it could be.
they are varsity. Oh, Draws is in here. Yeah, dude, I think
I don't know what I did. I clicked
we have
something.
4 votes for MVP for Danners. So I think this week
I don't want to give the sub to
I have
anyone.
to give it to
I
the
don't know
one
how
who
to count
cleans
this.
up after everybody. Make sure all our games are streamed. I think we have to give it to Dan.
Shows up even when
Dude.
there's forfeits.
Yeah, who's always there.
Just the fact that it's being acknowledged is enough of a win for me. I don't want any sort of game because my computer is dead. I can't play anything anyway. So,
We have a new Nest computer you can use.
nah, all good. But I do want to give some.
He fixed
Some
my name
love
on
to
stream.
the-
He's the real MVP. Who draws
Wait,
it.
on this stream or?
Oh no, week 1 Fortnite, I had put 2 Z's in Draw's name, and that's incorrect. Small
Okay.
victories, right?
My
Yeah,
name
we take
was
those.
Yazin for.
Yeah,
Oh no,
yes,
they wouldn't see it here, but on the script it was
Yeah.
Yazin for
Yeah.
the longest time too.
Dan's
Well,
also
it's
pronounced
MVP of
Yazin,
the class too. Like
but
you had
it's
to help
not
us the other week with our sound
Yeah.
issue. Whenever we have issues, Dan's always MVP.
Well, thankfully Mike was with you there too, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
When in doubt, ask Dan.
Yeah. Dan carried us through semester 1 most of our groups. So.
Yep.
That's facts. I remember I just commentated Smash my first time. I was like, damn, what do I do? He's like, just talk. I was like,
Okay.
that's it.
Just talk for
He's
it.
like, yeah. I was like, I'll talk. I can talk. You guys know that. I can talk a lot.
Here, there'll eventually be a point where I stop. You just talk,
Yeah.
and then when you stop, I'll talk.
Yeah.
It worked out nicely, but
does.
That was my
so-
first commentary thing. Actually, was that presentation. I was so freaking nervous. Holy crap!
No doubt.
Yeah.
Oh, we had Frank come in too, right, Brent?
Oh my god, that
Yeah.
made it even worse. I was like, oh god, this guy's
If you
like.
commentate, or he wasn't, I don't think your boss at the time.
No, he wasn't. So I was just
So-
like nervous to meet him in general because I knew it was like one of our professors, like good friends, like I did commentary and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, he's like a pro, kinda, in my eyes, right?
Yeah, he was the second person I ever did commentary with, but he was probably the first person I tried try-harding commentary.
I've never
with, so it's
commentated
funny.
with him. It's I think that
You
would be
guys should
quite
do
the
an
dynamic.
overcooked
We would
Oh,
argue
overcooked,
about
there we go.
every
Overcooked
topping
stream.
in the food every single time.
pizza
we'd
making
just argue.
simulator.
Pizza
would
with
start-
Stop, I'm hungry.
Me and him would
with
fight. Yeah, Socks.
green,
I don't know if you saw the tweet that he made about
black
the pizza.
olives, some
I bought
banana
bought
peppers,
pizza,
some
left
feta
it there,
cheese.
and he didn't want it because it had banana peppers on it or something. He's like, "This is the lowest tier topping." That's our boss. That's our boss.
good.
We're gonna
He
have to-
should judge you.
I like banana peppers.
Okay,
I would eat that.
I'm Arab, so I like my olives on anything. You know what I mean? I can eat olives, just a bowl of olives. I'll just eat them, black,
Pineapple
green. I don't
on
care. I'll just
pizza?
eat them.
Yes.
On pizza, but he's insane. I told you he's insane. He's insane. Okay, you might be a little crazy for saying pineapple, but
Whoa.
we'll work on it. We'll work on it. We'll work on it.
Pineapple on pizzas. Goaty.
Yeah, so just real quick, so just to recap something we did mention earlier. So, unfortunately, No Man's Land is canceled again, so nothing happening this weekend for the event. As of right now,
Sad.
Saints Gaming Live is still on the
sad.
table, but we
Ooh.
definitely got to see
Day by day, week by week, just
exactly see
keep
what
your
happens
eyes
there.
open. We don't know, but
Span
yeah,
this
it's
banner
yeah.
to help Danners. I like that one.
Oh my goodness.
I like that one.
But I think Border City Battle is canceled as
Yeah,
well.
Yes.
definitely.
as far as I
That's
know.
done.
We can't go 4-0 now? 3-0? 3-0? 4?
Hey, it just means we get to hang on to that trophy.
But,
a
Well, I mean, we
little
were
bit
going to
longer.
anyways.
If Saints Gaming Live does continue, I think we need to somehow incorporate No Man's
Yeah.
Land into
Yeah.
it because No Man's Land was the longest running LAN in Ontario, and to have it end like this is really sad. So
I mean,
hopefully,
Can we do it
about that.
online?
well, no, that's what it's not
No,
a
it's
LAN.
not
It's a
LAN.
LAN.
It's a-
Everyone just
But maybe there's a way to do it. Maybe
Bubbles?
instead of Christmas Land, we just call it No Man's Land Christmas Edition, and that's how we continue the tradition or something. But I
Yeah,
think there's
that'd probably work.
still have to try and do it this year. It's not
Yeah.
canceled; it's postponed. Let's.
Once everything starts getting figured out and all the, not the panic, but I guess it is kind
the
of
dust. Let the dust settle.
let the
Yeah.
dust settle a little bit and we'll figure something out. I know specifically Smash will still have plenty of stuff to do, and then for all the PC gamers, we can figure something out. I'm sure we can. Now, we're just about getting ready to wrap up, but we do have March break up, like very close, of course, just next
yes,
week.
we will.
What is everybody doing for fun, if anything? Anybody?
Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley.
I just modded my Final Fantasy VII.
That picture you posted in the Discord.
I figured it out.
I'd be
I got it
crying.
modded. The graphics look sick. I'm gonna
No,
play.
no. The other one you posted.
Yeah,
was a
I
lot
messed it up
better.
for a little bit. I turned Cloud into Claude by accident, and he just
Claude, you turned it into a
he had a third
demon.
eye. Like
Oh my
I messed it up, but I fixed it. I got the new threat mod, which like makes the game more difficult. I'm gonna
Where
play
is
that
this?
all week, leading up to the new remake.
Right here. I found it.
You got it?
I
Alright.
found it. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta show this
I
on-
messed up.
That's a little bit of a. So
a little bit.
I'll show you
no.
what. No, I'll
That's
show you
from
what
the
he
re-
was trying to do.
No, that's the one Justin put is from the remake.
Okay, so it's not as good as that.
No, like
Okay, then I
But,
can't show you what it should have looked
no.
like. But this is what he made.
Oh my god.
That's not the camera not focusing. It has no
No.
eye. On the,
it looks good now.
it looks
I
good
fixed
now. Oh, that's great.
Gosh.
He's like, oh, this is what I got when I modded. You must be really bad.
This looks like
Show
a
my perfect mod. Okay.
This is the start of a Final Fantasy creepypasta.
Yeah, that's totally from the mod.
I literally
Yeah, that's-
watched this.
yeah.
Like, come on now.
Yeah,
Plug
that's,
Doom stream.
Some-
Okay, yeah, we
from
do have
because
the.
I'm a good modder.
Is that on the Esports Club?
I
or
think it's an
Saints
Esports
Gaming?
Club one
This
for
is
The
the
Doom
Doom
stream? They're doing Doom Eternal for you, right?
Yeah,
From
but
noon till 5?
we should still be able to do that.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just a casual stream, 2 people only, right?
As long as the class and the school doesn't get shut down. No, Dan just like shuddered at the thought of it.
Don't mind me. Sorry. I had a
No, like
joke.
we're still all of our streams
Yeah.
are still a go as far as we know. I think they're gonna be doing a Doom playthrough. Colin can correct me. I think it's the Tuesday we come back, 24th, 12 to 5. We'll have some posts going. If not, we'll figure out a way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That was just stupid. When you mentioned Doom Eternal, I just started like laughing on the inside, thinking of some of the memes I had seen where it's the Doom Eternal guy coming in, but then he buys Animal Crossing. Then Isabel from Animal Crossing buys Doom.
People are like, oh, we need like a. I saw an article. It's like basically saying that if Nintendo wanted to do like a crossover world or something, it would be completely up to like Nintendo himself, right? And I was like, I don't know if they would just put Doom guy in the Animal Crossing world, and they're like, oh well, he had a bunny and blah blah blah, and I'm like, you guys are thinking way too far. It's Doom,
they're stretching.
kill, gory,
Doom.
Animal Crossing, form, be friends. That's it. Like, there's form.
I mean, Isabel's secretly the queen of death, so who knows?
With you, yeah, but I don't know about any other position. Like, but yeah, it's just a very weird mix.
Yeah.
Now, Jake, how about you? Anything interesting? I know you have a new Siege operators to get to play around with now.
Yeah,
right?
I get to play with those. They're fun. The new guy,
Man.
the new Onyx, he's fun. You get to jump up on hatches, so running around the map is fun with him. Spawn peaks are now more entertaining because he can eat a lot of bullets. He's a big boy,
I see.
but fast. So that's really it. And then we may have a game on the Wednesday of March break. It might get rescheduled due to the coronavirus and March break. So just got to talk with the other coach.
Okay, just keep me posted.
Yep. But that's it for us.
I kind of want to fight the coronavirus right now. Just make it like a physical thing, so I could just, like how big would it be if it was a real person?
Yeah, you'll probably punch it, but then
We got
you'll just
Chris.
cover
We
it.
got Chris could fight it for us.
I'm not touching.
Yeah, this morning I was like, if I catch the corona, I'm taking you all down with me because I definitely got it from one of you. Like,
Luckily, I even came here today.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
yeah, I had him worried. He's like, no, he's sick. I'm not coming. Forget it.
Bring masks for all of us on the week after March break.
I've got masks on deck. I'm ready for this.
But I think that's just about it for us here. Thank you for joining us for another. Actually, hang on a second. I'm a liar. So yes, the chat was putting me for MVP, but I'm not actually the MVP.
Oh,
so
yeah,
are
we
we giving
forgot
it to
to say.
Dawson?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Dawson. It is
Yeah,
Dawson.
it is Dawson.
The
I'll
official
message
MVP is Dawson.
I would say.
Good job,
Sir.
Dawson.
First Call of Duty rep, and honestly, guy deserves it plenty. So big congrats. And I'm trying to remember what their results were. Normally,
They lost, I think?
They lost last
Lost
night.
one.
So
4 games though.
okay, so they in TESPA this week they went 1-1,
Okay.
and they lost their first CCL match this week. I think they're probably playing tomorrow. I'm not sure who. If they're playing Concord, it's going to be a tough one. But they have 3 games left in CCL. They probably need to win 2 to make playoffs.
That would be impressive if they can make it on their first attempt.
Yeah,
but
Sox wants you to look at the
see.
the
I literally
camera
just
more.
read that too. Listen, I have to make up for all the people on this podcast because none of them look at the camera.
I
except
look
for
at the
Dan
camera.
sometimes. Dan gives
I was
his,
told to act
glare,
like it
you know?
wasn't there,
Who said that?
so I just don't look at
It wasn't me.
Kush, you're not even here and you're still ruining the stream. Man. I don't know what you're doing. But
That's
yeah,
funny.
no, it is you, Dawson. You get the
It is you.
Steam key. I'll love
Wait,
it.
What
does
do
he-
what does the MVP get?
The
They get a game.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, humble
yeah.
bundle game.
Bad Rats.
What?
What is Bad Rats?
Is it a game?
It's like the universally proclaimed worst game of all time.
Oh yeah, I'll give
Oh,
you bad
It's like a
rats.
99-cent Steam.
Hell yeah.
Do you get some
Bro, you don't look
premium
into the
currency to raid Shadow Legends?
Oh, he's Fortnite Dawson.
There
Oh,
is.
it's the wrong
There's
one.
2 Dawsons.
I'm
Yeah, I forgot.
Fortnite
There's Sergeant
Dawson.
Swell, who's also a Dawson.
What's
Oh.
Amazon Prime? What's Amazon Prime, Jake?
No, it's Chris. It's only
No,
for the
no,
guests.
no, you-
I've already done it.
No, you
I
haven't.
get Amazon Prime.
You've
Yeah,
abused,
no, you have to explain what Amazon Prime
You've
is.
abused every guest and me, Dan, and Kush.
Amazon
the job.
Prime is what you latch onto from your parents when they have it, and then you tie it to your Twitch account.
Exactly.
So you get a
Perfect.
free sub.
That's the true strat.
And
right
where
there.
should we use it?
Twitch TV/SC Esports Club.
Exactly.
when we go affiliate.
You know
which
what?
Which
We'll
I haven't
make-
done yet.
We'll make like
which
a
I need to
little
do.
like thing. If you sub on either one of them, it'll count towards the pies thing. But you've got to say it in the sub line. Be like pie for Yaz. That's it.
Pie for
What is?
Yaz.
I don't even know any of these
If
things.
you get 10, if we get
You
10
have
subs, we
15
get
or
the pie
something.
Yaz.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I've been saving
No,
my
we
like,
need to get Endeavor to do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like
No,
save mine for
9
some
more.
reason. I don't know why. It's like, oh, I'm gonna use it at this date, and then like this happens, and all our stuff gets canceled, and I'm gonna forget about it. So I should probably use it before I forget again.
Yeah. So if you sub now, jokes on you guys, because my mom Because my mom uses my Amazon Prime.
That's a yes.
You got it mixed up.
You got it backwards, bro.
My mom uses my Amazon Prime.
How many are we at? So we needed 15. I believe we're at 9 now, right? Or something like
9
that.
in a month or 9 total? Like
Just
is
9
it
Just
total.
9
At
total.
one time, there has to be like so many.
Okay.
No, not all at once. Just
in
over time.
total.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we
yeah.
only need 9 more.
Right on.
So someone give 9 subs quickly.
Imagine Brent just walks up. He's like, I get to throw the pie.
And then actually, from seeing Swell in the chat, that Fortnite Dawson, it reminds me that we didn't talk about Fortnite.
We didn't talk about League either.
Or well, nothing happened for League of Legends anyway.
Yeah,
There
no,
was
we talked about it for
there
a
was
second.
no
I'm
match.
pretty
We
sure
did.
You said something about
We
it.
talked about League in general.
Oh, yeah,
we talked about
yeah, we
basketball.
didn't talk about the.
Yeah, but
9
I do want
plus
to give those
9 is
guys
15. Yes, quick maths.
it's another one of those weeks where if I were to put Fortnite on the MVP list, I'd basically be putting everybody on there because once again, another fantastic showing for them for their Tuesday NACE matches because once again, they are first and second in the entire league with, I believe it is Draza and Siri, who are stupidly far ahead of everybody.
Yes, we did
And
her stuff.
then the second squad between Beauty and Swell, fantastic as well, and just the lead they have on third, I think it's a little bit smaller compared to the gap from first to third, but just the fact that they're 1 and 2 is amazing right now, and I can't give those guys enough credit.
No, they're doing really well. I like seeing the green and gold up on the top.
It is nice.
It makes more sense instead of Team A and Team B, or
Yeah.
Team Green and Team Gold.
I've always hated the AB stuff.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
when they
That.
were talking about club teams and calling them B teams, I absolutely hate it. I think it just devalues teams immediately. So I'm
Yeah,
glad
they
that they're doing
dominated
that.
so fast. They were too early for half price apps.
And then I also looking back on this real quick, it also appears that I don't think we talked about our favorite Hot Wheels. We didn't talk about Rocket League.
Dan, you said you weren't going to call it that, and now I
you-
can do it.
We got a nice scolding from Dan that we had to be nice to
I-
Rocket League
I-
players
I-
this
that's
year.
not
or
ins-
this
But let's be
week.
real here. You start thinking about it, and then you're like, Ethan, Endeavor,
Yes, I'm
Hot Wheels.
Oh,
I'm
we got a
contradicting
sub.
myself. Oh, hang on. What do we got?
Oh, shoot.
That is Dawson. That is
All right,
well,
8 more. And
Thank you for
sucks. I
subscribing.
meant we only needed 9 more. Not we've had 9.
But I thought
we
you said
need
you
another
had 9. Now this is 10, so you
Yeah,
need
you're confusing
5.
me, bro.
No.
I think
need 9 more.
so. I think we need 4 more now.
Jesus
If-
Christ.
Yeah.
4 more subs.
No, we need 8. Okay. Wait,
4.
Insult Rocket League. I'll insult Overwatch.
Hey, we're
No,
not
no,
allowed
no,
to bash games.
We're not insulting games. I'm just saying Hot Wheels. They're cars. But again, I did kind of say something earlier, so I'm an absolute hypocrite. But
Jesus.
so they have the match later on today, of course, at 8 o'clock. So that'll be going live on the main channel. But they did have a match on Monday at the same time Smash Class was happening. And they got themselves a Game 5 victory over Muskingum University.
Come again?
I don't know them.
Here, take a look at it. This is what I'm talking about.
Muskin gum.
Yeah.
Muskingum
University.
Take that, Muskin gum.
They do take care of
Those
that
are the
one.
type of names you put in like Google Translate and have them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, so Rocket League, another one of those teams, just doing very, very well. Easily, like, positive win ratio at this point. And looking forward to seeing how they're doing in future NACE matches. We'll get to see later on tonight. I'm looking forward to trying to commentate that one myself as well. So I'll be hopping on the mic for that.
Let go. I can't read that yet. I can't.
No, we're not allowed to read that.
Dan,
I'll read it out loud right now. You want it? No, I'm just kidding.
I was told we had to
should
be
add
good.
hero pools to Rocket League.
Dan still looking for people to help with production
Yes.
and everything,
Saints
observing.
That-
For SGL.
Or what?
Well,
Or in general and in
or just
SGL.
for
right?
everything, basically, because, like, with especially the way the schedule was for the longest time, it is compared to like all the rest of the esports varsity we have. These guys, in theory, could be here every single day for 3 hours with a broadcast, and that is absolutely absurd. I'm not going to expect them to do that. So a lot of the times, there are going to be a handful of streams that either Baker or I will have to pretty well solo or try to duo together, and there's still so many positions to be filled up. So if you do feel like giving production a try, whether it be behind the scenes or as an up-and-coming commentator, be sure to contact me on Discord. That's probably the easiest place to get a hold of me right now. That's Danners. Then the hashtag number, I believe, is 1338 if you need to get a hold of me. And let me know so I can try and squeak you in as fast as possible.
Yeah, I like it. Is that it for us?
I think that's just about it. So
Yeah,
unless there's any final thoughts from anybody.
No.
Relay for Life, donate. relayforlife.ca/St. Clair College.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Find us at the bottom somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be posting some more stuff about that raffle soon. Hopefully, we'll kind of get some stuff sorted out, get some prizes out to people. We do have a lot of prizes. I think it's over like $260
That mouse
worth
pad,
of stuff. This really long extended Tespa mouse pad, which
Nice.
is like I wanted to yoink. As soon as I opened that box, I was like, "Will anyone know if I just kind of yoink this?"
Oh my god.
But it was like, it's too nice. And
I
Steel
bought
Series
3.
mouse. We got a test. We got one of the Saints Gaming donated a jacket for us.
Mm-hmm.
Tons of good stuff.
Whoa. In chat.
What do we
Socks with
get?
a coffee cup. If we make $500, I'll shave my head. Quote me on it.
Whoa.
Well, then you might as well
Start
buzz
shaving.
because I think
Start
Pretty much
shaving.
there.
we're at $400 now. Harry was supposed to do open gaming yesterday downtown. We had some mix-ups, but he was supposed to we get paid from open gaming, which is $150, and we were gonna put that right in. So as far as I know, we had $550, but since it kind of got shut down, I'm not sure what the play is, but it's pretty safe to say that we're gonna.
You're not
surpass
there
that.
yet. I will pay the
Yeah,
rest of the
we're
amount.
still
to
so
make you do
close.
it.
Yeah, we're so close right now. So if anybody
We still
has
got
the
2 more
chance
weeks,
to.
right? It's 27,
Yeah.
so we got
Please do.
15
See
days.
more. Colin, you want to shave your head too?
days.
Yo, can we do that? I like that one.
Yeah, that'd be more
What
fun.
if we shave Colin's eyebrows? How about that? I think he would look.
Oh, and then put them on like cast with like the face
shave his
cam.
eyebrows, shave Sock's hair, and then put her hair on his eyebrows and the eyebrows on her hair.
What?
this seems like a bad time.
Yes,
overall.
yes. You see, yes. People are like, yes.
Oh my god.
All right, I think this is the time to
This is
end it
probably the
before-
Yeah,
time
it's
before you
over.
guys start cooking up some other crazy
trying to go
ideas.
But yeah,
We need to
keep
shut
notice
this down.
on both all the social medias and the
Yeah.
discords, and check out announcements because there's probably going to be fast and furious with most stuff because everything's just popping up at the minute by minute. So
Yeah.
So that's both the Saints Gaming CA social medias as well as the SC Esports Club social medias. So be sure to follow those if you have not done so already. And I think that is finally going to be about it for us today. It was a long one, but a fun one and a very productive one. So I
It
thank
was.
you all for joining me here today. And thank you all in chat for joining us as well. It's always a pleasure broadcasting to you every Thursday at 3. And I hope to see you a little bit later for the Rocket League match at 8 o'clock.
thanks for having me too, by the way.
Always.
Yes.
Oh, we're pulling the hippie signs out.
Gang signs.
Gang signs.
And
Relax.
Yes,
Peace.
yes, thank you, Chris, for joining
Get
us
us
as
banned off
first time
Twitch.
special
it was fun.
guest too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome having you. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
We've been trying to get him on for a while, so.
Yeah, and if you guys ever want to guest on Bird's Eye View, just send one of us a message and we'll try to get you guys on.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have a show during March break.
No, I don't think
However,
so.
the week back, we'll be right there once again.
Yeah.
Standard time, standard day. So until then, thank you, and we'll hopefully see you tonight.
Adios.
Bye.